আপনি আমার জামাই আমার সাইড আপনি আমার সাইডকে যান না। আচ্ছা আমার ওয়েবসাইটে যেয়ে দেখতে হবে।
আছে নাকি?
আরে ওটা আপনি দেখতে হবে না, আড়াই ঘন্টা
Anywhere else? Well, today we have
One devotee right there. All the way down.
coming from Tallahassee. What is your name? Jane, nice one. So today we have with us, of course, two special guests. Atlanta doesn't normally get so many exalted Vaishnavas here, but we have with us here today His Holiness Swami Ki, and our GBC and His Holiness Devamrita Maharaj Ki. So Maharaj will speak to us today, but today we're also will be honoring later the Gyan Puja Day of his brother, Radha Govinda Swami King. So he has a few disciples here in Atlanta. So anyway, everyone knows His Holiness Devamrita Maharaj, so without further ado, Maharaj will begin with the lecture. Hare Krishna.
Om Jnana-Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Today I've been thinking about the impact of this Sunday gathering. The whole concept of having a Sunday gathering, of course, originated with Srila Prabhupada in his most early days on 26 Second Avenue in New York. And since then, the Sunday gathering has evolved into different demographics, different emphases. But let's consider that bhakti, Krishna consciousness, is always a festival. The festival of bhakti centers on chanting, dancing, taking prasad, associating with devotees in order to become more inspired. Prasad plays such an important role. Most of you probably don't know, but in 1976, Srila Prabhupada had his secretary send a letter to all Iskcon centers. Maybe Balabhadra Prabhu remembers. He said, I've noticed a decline in the quality of the Sunday feast prasad. And he said, every Sunday feast has to have these preparations. And he listed 13. It's all part of the festival. We come together as Krishna instructs in Bhagavad Gita. Mahatmanas tumam partha daivim prakritimashrita bhajantyananya manaso yatra buddharamavriya. What do the Mahatmas do? With determination, they engage in devotional service. And in the next verse, Krishna describes the symptoms of the Mahatma. Satatam kirtayanto mam, always chanting my glories. So that's the spirit in which we should come together on Sunday. To honor ecstatic prasad, to blissfully chant the glories of Krishna, and to associate with devotees. And how do we associate with devotees? By inquiring what accelerates our spiritual advancement and what will impede our spiritual advancement. Doing so is a festival because the goal is Krishna's pleasure. We may not think like that. The goal of the Sunday festival is Krishna's pleasure. We may think it's for my pleasure. But gradually, as we become more purified, we understand that Krishna's pleasure includes our pleasure automatically. That takes some realization. At first, some of the main reasons why we gather on Sunday may be out of tradition. That's certainly laudable, certainly helpful. Out of necessity, maybe our parents have forced us to come. But gradually, just by coming, because of rules and regulations, in order to be an upstanding devotee, you must come to the Sunday program. Gradually, a taste develops. As many of you know, bhakti has two major phases. What Prabhupada would call the therapeutic stage and the relishing stage. So sometimes we wonder, the therapeutic stage, when I do devotional activities because I must, is there any taste in that? Yes. The Acharyas explain that even in the preliminary stages of bhakti, there's a whiff of Krishna prema. It's not all a struggle with perfect answers by His divine grace. His definition of what is sadhana bhakti. He said, sadhana bhakti means you have to do it because I say. Very distinct, very clear. And our tendency is we don't like to do things just because someone says do it. We want to be our own boss. We want to be free, independent. But the way material existence is structured is that the more you indulge, engage materially, you don't become free, you become more entangled. But this is difficult to see without knowledge. So one of the prime purposes of the Sunday gathering is that knowledge is imparted. What is Maya? What is Krishna? How to develop love for Krishna. Being in this temple room back in 1975 when Prabhupada came here. I remember the last question of Prabhupada's question and answer session. I was way in the back in this corner. I had raised my hand very timidly to ask the last question. I had a question in mind that was burning for me. Why is it that even the Gyanis, the mental speculators, in order to achieve moksha, liberation, need a speck of bhakti? I was going to ask that to her. So I was very timidly raising my hand in that corner right there. But then my godbrother, my Sankirtan partner, beat me to it. He was right up front. Narantara Prabhu. He asked Prabhupada, with his Narantara Prabhu's enthusiasm and dynamism, Prabhupada, what pleases you the most? He wanted Prabhupada to say, right? But Prabhupada responded simply, if you love Krishna. So this Sunday feast is meant for developing love of Krishna. Even in an ordinary relationship, you develop attraction for the other person or persons by discussing their characteristics, their activities, their qualities, how they are doing. And so by coming together on Sunday to talk about Krishna, we become purified and we make progress on the path to love of Krishna. So we need to be reminded of that reality, that the goal of bhakti is to love Krishna. Everyone wants love, whether they admit it or not. Everyone wants to be appreciated. But those desires in us will never be satisfied unless we make progress toward loving Krishna. Loving Krishna means loving the things that Krishna wants. In the therapeutic stage of bhakti, we're trying to rise above material contamination. We should never forget that this world is indeed a place of contamination, and we're constantly on guard against pollution. Pollution of the consciousness. People talk about air pollution, water pollution, but what about consciousness pollution? There'll be no solution lasting for the environmental problem unless you deal with toxic consciousness. You can clean up, let's say if you succeed in cleaning up all the water, cleaning up all the air, cleaning up the soil. A short time later, human beings will pollute it again. What happens if you go to another planet? Hypothetically saying that's possible. You transport all the human beings to another planet. What are they going to do there? They're going to trash it out. Because it's the same consciousness, the same mentality. So in this way, we can see that bhakti is the solution to all material problems. Sometimes we may think, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I'm looking at Bhagavad Gita once a week, I try to offer all my food, but what about the immense problems of the world? I was just talking about that with our guest from Tallahassee. An intelligent person understands there are massive problems. Where do you start to make an actual solution? Sometimes spiritual people are accused of focusing so much on the hereafter that you become inept in dealing with the pressing problems all around now. But what about getting to the root of all those problems? Who knows how to do that? This is what the Krishna Bhakta is striving for. Rather than a piecemeal solution, trying to solve the problem over here, solve the problem over there. What is underneath it all? The magnitude of the root of all the problems is what bhakti is dealing with. Forgetfulness of Krishna. This is not just some kind of religious concept. Forgetfulness of Krishna, forgetfulness of God. As if remembrance of Krishna is some accessory that we add on to the main reality of normal life in the material world. Let me go to the temple on Sunday and remember Krishna for a few moments as an accessory to the main thrust of my life, the real world, which is making money, struggling to keep a family together, wondering what to do about the ecological situation, the political situation, the economic situation. And then over here, way on the side, we have a little thing called bhakti. The more you understand that Bhagavad Gita gets to the root of all problems, the more solid your advancement in bhakti will be. An intelligent, aware person wants to solve the human problem. But what exactly is the human problem? Arjuna is demonstrating that in chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita. His situation, the situation confronting Arjuna, as you know, is so unfathomable for us. He's caught in the middle of a family feud, a battle between persons known to him on both sides. So he says to Krishna, as you know, how can any good come about from all this? I don't see any good outcome. Whether we win the war or we lose the war, both ways it's a disaster. Arjuna is caught in a massively problematic material situation. This is the situation in which Bhagavad Gita is spoken. This is a situation seemingly so intractable, so unsolvable. This is the situation that Arjuna eventually takes shelter of Krishna to solve. So what do we see in the world all around us today? increasing body identification. Exactly what is condemned in the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita. It would seem to you that Arjuna was right. Krishna, how can we fight this war? So much social havoc will happen. So many warriors will die. Their wives will be left without husbands. The family structure will break down. All of society will become polluted. Krishna, I've heard that those who destroy the family tradition reside in hell. And what does Krishna tell him? You're speaking very eloquently, very learnedly, but you're actually a fool. Krishna called him a fool indirectly. Someone with brains doesn't talk the way you're talking. And Krishna gives a whole lecture on how we are different from the body. As the beginning of all problems. You get that part of the equation wrong, everything else in the equation is mistaken. So what do you see happening in the world today? No matter what continent, no matter what country, people are taking shelter of bodyism. They've forgotten how much all this bodyism, how much problem, pain, misery, calamity it has caused. It's like human beings never learn, and they don't learn materially. This is shocking for some of us to understand. As Queen Kunti explains in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, she's the most liberated woman. What does she say? Bhavesmin klishyamananam avijja kama karmabhi. The living entity is struggling in this material atmosphere. And that struggle is always extremely problematic because of avidya, because of our being covered by the nescience potency of the Supreme Lord. Ignorance, dark cloud. We can't see straight, we can't think straight, we can't desire properly. And so avidya, nescience, leads to kama, perverted desire, material desire. And then Queen Kunti explains the next step in the cycle. Avidya, then kama, and then karma. Materialistic activities which produce reactions. Who can see this struggle? Again and again, humanity makes the same mistake. You would never think that just 80 years ago, in the mid-20th century, 80 million people died in World War. And 25 years before that, 25 million people died in World War I. But still, nations, political leaders are barking at one another. Everyone's pointing the finger at the other. Where's the human progress? Where's the human intelligence? The nuclear spending is increasing. Your dear land of the free and home of the brave spends more on nuclear weapons than all the other nuclear powers in the world combined. 9 nuclear powers. The US outspends all of them on nuclear weaponry. In God we trust. And look at how many silos we have. This is the nescience potency that's affecting the whole world. Because you might, now let me explain, you might think, by taking shelter of body identification, what's really so bad about that? Indeed, some social thinkers say, because nationalism ethno-nationalism is so familiar to human beings. We've got to figure out a way how to organize society positively based on ethno-nationalism, because it's just a natural thing. I'm from this land, or I have this kind of body, and you are from another land, or you have another kind of body. So these social thinkers are saying now, it comes so naturally, you can't stamp it out. We tried for one world, globalism, we tried all that. You are a citizen of the world. People can't buy that for long. No, I am this body, and you are the other body. So the idea is, try to make something positive out of bodyism. How can you do that? The more you take shelter of body identification, the more bewildered you become, because you're putting yourself in the grip of the avidya potency, the nescience potency. It's not that Krishna's illusory energy just sits back and says, just identify with your body, there'll be no problem. You'll be enlightened. It's illusion, but it'll be all right. Peacefully, people can exist thinking they are the body. There'll be world peace in spite of body identification. That's why no one is trying to educate that you're not this body, because they think we can establish world peace regardless of people's body-centric thinking, body misidentification. There's still going to be world peace. Have you seen it happen? More than ever before, bhakti knowledge is needed. So this coming together on Sunday is a chance to reinvigorate ourselves in spiritual understanding. It's a celebration of the spirit soul in relation with the Supreme Soul, in relation to Krishna. This Sunday gathering brings you to the conclusion of what Arjuna says in chapter 18 of Bhagavad Gita. Nashta moha smritiya labda. Oh Krishna, my illusion is now gone. Karisye vachanam tava. I'll act according to what you say. Now normally you would think, if someone says, I'll act according to your command, that's very demeaning. It's lowering the self-esteem, which is the greatest offense these days. Should always act to uplift your self-esteem. Just like at the workplace, especially in the finance industry, the corporate industry, the IT industry, you've got to manage your personal brand so that you always are looking good. You've got to be mindful of that. I was in Noida in India recently, and the IT devotees there are telling me, those devotees working in the IT industry, you've got to be one step ahead of your employer. Because they are going to try to get rid of you once they suck out of you all they want. So you've got to be one step ahead and have your next job lined up. And you have to keep managing your personal brand so that more luster, more effulgence is on your CV. You've got to, it's a constant effort. You can't slack off for a moment. So I asked them, well, how long do you last at a job at the same place? Well, after 1 year, you start thinking about moving on. This is a struggle. Of course, our devotees have to do what they have to do in order to support their family. Nevertheless, we should recognize it's a struggle. And what if there's such a struggle which is totally unrelated to Krishna? This is the greatest disaster in life. To struggle all for material purposes. So we were explaining about how human beings are poised on the brink now of another global catastrophe, and they don't seem to care. They're barking at each other. I was just in Europe last month. I was in Ukraine, Hungary, UK, and you can see the barking going on very intensely there. The BBC, the UK National News Service, asked the Russian foreign minister, "You're threatening to position nuclear missiles in countries bordering Western Europe. Do you really mean that? Are you bluffing?" And the foreign minister replied, "It's a bluff until it's not a bluff. What if there's no more UK?" They're talking like this. Both sides are barking at each other, ready to slaughter millions of people just to get control of this tract of land, that tract of land. More than ever, the peace formula of bhakti is needed. And that peace formula of bhakti begins with our understanding, as Krishna gave in the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita, you're different from the body. But let me explain more. Sociologists have pointed out that there's a kind of false strength you get by identifying with your body. I am a this. You feel a sense of pride and illusory energy surge through you. I belong to this group. Otherwise, you don't know what to do with your life. But by identifying with your body, it gets a false sense of membership. I belong to this group. They belong to the other group. So that gives you a sense of mission. Falsely, of course. I get strength by identifying with my group. I get strength by criticizing you because you're of the other group. And of course, we feel threatened by any other group. Who is going to take our power away from our group? So then you have the big fear of overrun, outbred, and replaced. What's going to happen to our land when it's overrun by other bodily groups, taking away all our power, replacing us? Immigrants pouring in, strange people, alien bodies. They're going to replace us. They'll take all the power. This bodyism is infecting the whole world like a massive pandemic. Who can see that? How can you have peace as long as there's body misidentification? So the first two chapters of Bhagavad Gita are more relevant than ever. Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita 5,000 years ago to Arjuna, but that wisdom is timeless. The Shastra explains that by aiming his instructions at Arjuna, Krishna has instructed all people in all times and all places. And at the end of the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 24, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That chapter is like an overture for the 10th canto. There, Shukadeva Goswami explains that Krishna, knowing the age of Kali is soon to come, enacted pastimes in such a way that the conditioned souls could attain the ultimate benefit of life, even in Kali Yuga, just by remembering and discussing Krishna's activities. So those of you who are in the IT industry, you've heard the expression that content is king. Krishna is the king of the content makers. He knows how to do his pastimes in such a way that any sane person would be attracted. Of course, the problem is how to produce sane people. Where do you find them? The pollution is so all-encompassing. Polluted consciousness, toxic consciousness. So Krishna is the #1 content creator. He purposely acts in such a way as to attract you. Come join me. Come dance with me. Come be in my pastimes. Why are you rotting in the material world? You think you have so many important things to do. But at the time of death, it's all yanked away from you. Even while you're alive, it's yanked away from you. I was reading today about Nanda Maharaj in Gokul celebrating Krishna's appearance. What a festival they put on. First of all, Nanda Maharaj gave charity to the Brahmanas. He wanted the blessings of the Brahmanas upon his son. And then you had all different types of praisers and glorifiers chiming in with their artistic contribution. You had the suttas. They would recite royal dynasties. You had the vandis. They would offer prayers in general as suitable for the occasion. And then you had musicians. The acharyas explained that the musicians continuously played because they were never satisfied enough to stop. It just the ecstasy kept increasing and increasing, so musicians kept playing and playing and playing. And then the charity being given. I know it's hard for you to believe, and Nanda Maharaj gave away 2 million cows. Well, how does even 1 million or 500,000 cows fit into Vrindavan? But Vrindavan is not a material terrain. It expands and contracts according to Krishna's desires. His Holiness Jayadvaita Maharaj was telling me how he witnessed one devotee asking Prabhupada, it said that in the Shastra that Krishna, by the time evening came in Braj, he was way on the other side of Braj. How did he make it back to his home? Such a distance. How did he cover such a distance? He's way on the other side, opposite side. It's a long walk to get back home in time before night. So how did he do it? The distance is so great. Prabhupada just replied, he takes big steps. Along with that, we know Vrindavan expands and contracts according to the Leela that's happening. So somehow or other, Nanda Maharaj was able to give 2 million cows, all decorated with silver-plated hooves and gold-plated horns. Where do you get that? Where does a farmer get that kind of wealth from? He's not working in IT. He's not working in banking. So you think, that's impossible. A farmer? You think of a farmer in your village in India, if you come from a village. 2 million cows, silver-plated hooves, gold-plated horns. And then 7 mountains of grains covered with opulent cloths, with jewels embedded in the cloths. This is what Nanda Maharaj is giving away. He's worshiping the Devatas, he's worshiping the Brahmanas, he's worshiping the ancestors. Oh, what is this? What kind of bhakti is this? Doesn't Bhagavad Gita say, don't worship the Devatas? That worship is actually meant for Krishna? water the tree at the root, focus on Krishna, and you benefit in every way. There's no need to bribe the devatas, bribe the ancestors. But Nanda Maharaj's mentality was what? I want all the blessings for my new son, Krishna, as possible. So yes, devatas, brahmanas, ancestors, whoever you are, bless my son Krishna. He's 100% Krishna conscious, without thinking that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In that way, he's giving Krishna so much pleasure. Spontaneous love of Krishna in Vatsalya, praying parental love. Krishna doesn't want him, Nanda Maharaj, to know he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That ruins Krishna's enjoyment. Or better put it, lessens Krishna's enjoyment. Vasudeva and Devaki, they knew he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why the Acharyas say Krishna appeared to them first in a four-handed form, because they knew he's God. And then Devaki requests, how can we hide a four-armed baby? Can you please change into your more human-like form? Although some acharyas, like Baladev Vidyabhushan, say that the human form can mean either the four-handed form or the two-handed form. In any case, Krishna appeared for Vasudeva and Devaki in a four-handed form because they knew he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whereas Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai, they didn't think that. There's one time when Nanda Maharaj had an inkling that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When he saw what happened when Krishna rescued him, rescued Nanda Maharaj from the watery kingdom of Varunadev. Nanda Maharaj saw how Varunadev treated Krishna, offering prayers, such reverence. Not only Varunadev was there, but other big devatas were there also, all offering prayers to Krishna. We were explaining this a few days ago. It seemed that Varunadev had made an offense through his servant, and Varunadev took the blame. My servant didn't know what he was doing, dragging Nanda Maharaj to my kingdom, thinking that Nanda Maharaj had made a mistake, bathing in the Yamuna at the wrong time. Technical detail. Actually, Nanda Maharaj was correct. There was just a few minutes remaining of Dwadasi, and so Nanda Maharaj was eager. But Varuna's servant saw it as a violation. It's still dark. It's the wrong time for bathing in the Yamuna. But if you look at the technicalities in total, Nanda Maharaj was still correct. In any case, Varuna's servant didn't understand Krishna, didn't understand who Nanda Maharaj is, Krishna's father, didn't understand bhakti. Come with me, we're going through a portal in the Yamuna River to Varunadev, my master. I'm bringing you to him. Varunadev was a little nervous. It seems I'm making an offense. He took ownership of the problem. He told Krishna, my servant has wrongly done this. I'm his master. I also get the blame. But I just wanted to see you. Now you may say, why couldn't Varunadev go to Braj to see Krishna? He knew that's not his place. He knew better. He's a royal official devata. He's not a Brijvasi. So that was reason number one. Reason number two, why Varunadev didn't go to Vrindavan to see Krishna, but instead, by way of his servant, brought Krishna to him because Krishna came to rescue his father, Nanda Maharaj. The second reason is that Varunadev thought, how wonderful. it will be to have Krishna in my own home. So Varunadev offered so many prayers to Krishna. Take whatever you want from my kingdom. Take all the jewels you want. In fact, take me. I'm the owner of the jewels. When I say everything is yours, that includes me. Take me too. Krishna was very pleased by Varunadev's bhakti. And Nanda Maharaj is astonished. What's all this awe and reverence and worship going on to my boy Krishna? So Krishna took, with Varuna's consent, Krishna took Nanda Maharaj back through the portal in the Yamuna River to the bank of the Yamuna. And all the cowherd men who had been alarmed because of the disappearance of Nanda Maharaj into the Yamuna, they had called out to Krishna, Krishna, Rama! Krishna actually was not nearby. He was taking rest, the acharyas explain, on a flower bed somewhere. Flower bed generally means when Krishna's resting on a flower bed, he's having special pastimes. So, immediately Krishna appears on the bank of the Yamuna. The cowherd men explain, Varunadev's servant took him through the Yamuna River, he's gone. Krishna asked, where's the spot that he disappeared into the Yamuna? The cowherd men showed him. Krishna dove into that spot, and that's how he got to Varunadev's kingdom. So now they've gone back. Krishna has brought Nanda Maharaj back to the bank of the Yamuna. The cowherd men are all relieved. Still, sunrise hadn't happened. This all happened in the pre-dawn hours. Of course, there were some very intimate scenes going on at the bank of the Yamuna. The gopis were in complete distress about Krishna's disappearance into the water. Srimati Radharani, Kavi Karnapur explains, had collapsed. And one of her girlfriends thought the only way to revive her is to tell her Krishna's coming. So one of the Sakis spoke, Krishna's coming. Immediately, Srimati Radharani comes out of her collapse, opens her eyes wide. But where's Krishna? No Krishna. She goes back into her total collapse. So when Krishna reappears with Nanda Maharaj, everyone is rejuvenated. And then the cowherd men start conversing with Nanda Maharaj. What's going on? What happened? And Nanda Maharaj tells them all about what happened in Varuna's kingdom. Suddenly the cowherd men realize, your son is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You told us, Nanda Maharaj, that Gargarishi said this boy would be like Narayan. Now we understand. He is Narayan. Since, they said to Nanda Maharaj, since your son is Narayan, and we're all related to you in a village relationship, we should get benefits from your son being Narayan. Because remember, everyone's related in this village. We all know each other. What? The cowherd men were thinking, well, it's going to be our next destination. We want to know. So the amazing thing is, as the acharyas point out, the Vatsalya Rasa, the parental love of Nanda Maharaj and the elders, the elder cowherd men, was not slackened in the slightest while understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Very unusual situation. Their Vatsalya prem had not slackened in the least while they're talking like this. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What benediction is he going to give us? Can he tell us our next destination? So that's when Krishna spoke double talk. Jano vai loka etasmin avidya kama karma bhi. The verse resembling partially what Queen Kunti spoke. Krishna said, it's amazing how people don't know what their next destination is because of avidya, because of kama, because of karma. It's amazing. But actually, when Krishna talks about jana, he's actually talking about his own people, the Brijbasis. But you can take it another way. Conditioned souls have no idea what their next destination is. They're covered by the avidya, nescience potency. They have kama, material desire, and they have karma, material activities. But it's a double talk by Krishna. He's actually referring to the Brijbasis. My people, they don't know that they're at the pinnacle of all destinations. They're in Braj, the pinnacle of sweetness. They don't know that. They think Varuna Dev's kingdom is higher. They think maybe the Brahmajyoti is higher. They have no idea that they're at the pinnacle of existence. How do you explain avidya, kama, karma bhi? How can the Brijbasis have avidya, nescience? They have ignorance caused by yoga maya. Yoga maya covers them so that they don't think Krishna is the Supreme Personality Godhead. So Krishna can enjoy better and they can freely reciprocate their love better. So they have special kind of avidya, not material avidya. Yoga maya, not mahamaya. Yoga maya avidya, which produces kama, not material lust, but the desire to please Krishna. And that desire, that intense desire to please Krishna, results in karma, bhakti karma, pure devotional activities for pleasing Krishna. Realize that there's no place better than Vrindavan. I'll give them a sample of being merged in the impersonal Brahman. To be merged in the impersonal Brahman means the cowherd men had their rasa suspended. They actually merged into Brahman for a brief moment. Krishna brought them right out of it, because how can life go on with the cowherd men being merged into Brahman? Krishna brought them right out, which is normally very difficult to do. Next stop, Vaikuntha. Krishna showed them Vaikuntha. The cowherd men were amazed to see the opulence of Vaikuntha, but where's Gopal Krishna? Finally, Krishna showed them Goloka Vrindavan. And what was the cowherd men's reaction? It looks just like our hometown. Amazing. So we've gathered here to glorify Krishna, chanting, dancing, taking prasad. That's the real function of human beings. And the more human beings participate in chanting, dancing, taking prasad, discussing Krishna, the more they come out of body misidentification, their consciousness becomes purified, and the world is a much better place. Any questions? Comments from our learned Pandit Balabhadra Prabhu.
So Srila Prabhupada gave us 7 purposes of wisdom. And on the way you described the purpose of the 7 retreats, it knew what he said in the 3rd purpose, which is bringing the society closer together and nearer to Krishna. So would you just speak on that?
Yes. Coming together to become closer to Krishna. That should be our aspiration. If we had all care for ourselves, for our families, and for the world, we want to maximize the coming closer to Krishna. So this Sunday gathering has that important function, most important function. Most of you all are working throughout the week, but we should look forward to a time when we can come together and just talk about Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. Not just because of traditional requirements. You have to show up at the temple, you know, at least once a week, otherwise people think you're in Maya. We should be developing attraction for associating with one another, talking about Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna, taking prasad together. So Prabhupada recognized that this is the life and soul of a devotee congregation. Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti rikarna rasayana kata. When devotees come together, sincere devotees, that means devotees dedicated to making spiritual advancement, the talks about Krishna become more powerful and sweeter. And as the congregation makes more and more spiritual advancement, they, just by hearing and talking about Krishna, go higher and higher through the stages of bhakti. Anything else? Yes?
But who is Krishna?
Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. There's nothing more accurate than that. He's the supreme enjoyer. He's not the creator, the maintainer, and the destroyer. He delegates those activities to expansions of expansions of expansions. Krishna himself simply enjoys. That's why he always carries a flute, to let you know. He's all play and no work. All right, think about that. Yes.
Dear Maharaj, thank you so much for coming and teaching us. The bodyisms you were talking about earlier, do you feel like there's any progress within the various religions to break down some walls, to go beyond, to have some unity?
Go beyond what?
The bodyisms, the limitations.
How many temples, churches, mosques, synagogues do you go to where you hear when you walk in the door, you're not the body? In fact, you may hear the opposite. Body nationalism, body religious nationalism. Often you'll hear that these days. And our religion will protect us against being overrun, replaced, and outbred.
So it's adding to.
Mm-hmm.
It's adding to the problem.
That's right. This is the age of color. Dharma becomes adharma. No other questions? Yes.
My question is that even in chapter 1, as you mentioned, an exalted devotee like Arjuna feels anxiety, gets distressed about his material life problems. So for I will speak for myself, super conditioned soul like me, how do we keep on going? How do we not give up in our bhakti practices, even if we know that this is the essence, this is the answer? How do we control the mind?
Look what Arjuna did. He, by Krishna's arrangement, is going through a breakdown just to show you how to solve the situation. Krishna arranged for that Arjuna would be having what we call today a complete psychological breakdown, so that you can see what it's like and what the solution is. And what was Arjuna's solution? Krishna, friendly talks are over. I'm your student, please instruct me. Just teham shadimam tvam prapanya. All right, I think Veda has some announcements.
One more.
I want to ask a question based on what. I wanted to ask a question based upon what you had said. How do we know that we're hearing Krishna, or following the proper instruction, or doing what we're supposed to do? Please, Krishna.
That's why Krishna says, Tadvidi pranipatena. If you want to know the truth, I've explained so much. We're in chapter 4 now. I've said so much about different yagyas, different karmas, different duties, obligations. If you want to cut to the chase and sort it all out, then you approach my representative. Inquire submissively and render service. And what will be the proof that you've done that process successfully? Next verse. Yajgatva na punamoham. You won't be an illusion anymore. You'll see that all living beings are my parts and parcels. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. As you like.
Okay. We need some Mridanga players. So the next part of the program, thank you all very much. The next part of the program is that I'm going to call out your names. If I call out your names, I'm going to request you to come forward and offer an arti. And His Holiness Devamrita Swami Maharaj will lead us through an ecstatic kirtan. So now that, would you all prefer to stand up and do a kirtan or sit down kirtan? Stand up. Stand up. Everyone, please stand up. Just those of you who are looking for restrooms, because this restroom
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
is our governing body commissioner. It means that he is one of the people that is part of Srila Prabhupada's system that governs the institution of Iskcon worldwide. And every temple has a governing body member, and he is our Atlanta GBC. And he also is an initiating guru that travels all around the world and initiates people into this practice of Krishna consciousness, also known as the Gaudiya, Brahmananda Gaudiya Sampradaya. So we're very fortunate that he's here. He's been here for almost a week, and he'll be leaving tomorrow. So this is going to be your last darshan and being in his presence. And so I just wanted to, quick announcements, that he has authored 2 beautiful books. Do you have both of them?
Yes.
Okay, there is a book, very nice, Searching for Vedic India. Has anyone seen this book? Raise your hand if you have seen this book. Raise your hand if you have not seen this book. Raise your hand if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So just for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, this book, Searching for Vedic India, is an incredible read. I'll honestly confess, I did not read cover to cover, but I was scrolling through this book and I found a lot of resources for my own spiritual well-being and growth. So this is one of Maharaj's book, and another one is Hiding in Unnatural Happiness. Now that one I have read, and it has been read by over 600,000 people around the world. It's pretty cool. That so many students have been enlightened and have more knowledge about life and how to go ahead with life. So these are 2 books that Maharaj has authored, and anyone who would like this book, Maharaj will personally come and put his autograph on it, and you will have it. And the price is, this book is priceless, according to Shastra Krit Guru. I'll let him do the spiel after this. But you can always donate towards the cost and the print of these books. Shastra Krit Guru, I'll let you take it over.
Hare Krishna. So we have 2 books, Searching for Vedic India and Hiding in Unnatural Happiness. The suggested donation is $20. You can always give more, it goes to Maharaj's service. And there are 2 devotees. They wanted to receive Srimad Bhagavatam signed by His Holiness Devamrita Maharaj. Maharaj is a living Bhagavat. He's an amazing devotee and so absorbed in Bhagavatam. So when you receive from the hands of a pure devotee, you get more blessings to be able to read and understand. So we wanted to, Pradeep and Raghav, they wanted to receive the full Bhagavatam set.
One at a time. Please come, Raghav.
This full Bhagavatam set, there are 18 volumes, and their special price today is $251. We can, because of the special occasion. So if you would like a Bhagavatam set, there are 18 volumes. It's an encyclopedia. You can also get it autographed by Devamrita Maharaj. But if you're thinking, I'll do it later, I was just hearing a story how in the Bhagavatam it's mentioned, there's a pond of lotuses, and the bee went into one of the lush red lotuses and started drinking the honey. And it got so late in the evening, and one saintly person came to the bee and said, it's already late, the sun is going to set, and the flower is going to close, so you better get up. And the bee said, I'll do it later, it's okay in the morning. When the sun rises, the flower will open, I'll be able to get up. But in the night time, one huge elephant came and ate all the lotuses. Like it was like a salad bar for the elephant. So the moral of the story is, not later, we have to do it now. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Please come, Pradeep and Raghav. And others, if you want to get the book signed, you can come and see me.
Can you make a line right here, on this side? Who would like a book? Please come on this side. What book would you like? The 18 volumes? Searching for Vedic India. Okay. So let's give it up for Raghav. 18 volumes of Vedic Encyclopedia. When you get the Srimad Bhagavatam, that means Krishna is coming to your house. Thank you, Raghav. You have to tell us your name. Manching She. Let's give it up for Manching She. Thank you very much. And we have Sandeep, right? Pradeep is getting the Vedic Encyclopedia, 18 volume set of Srimad Bhagavatam. Let's give it up for Pradeep. Thank you, Pradeep. So please come coming forward and getting, whoever wants those books. I don't think we have them in the temple, only Shastrakrit has the secret stash. Anyone else wants any of these books? Please come on this side. I think many people have this book. Haridas. Let's give it up for Haridas. He's also searching for Vedic India.
Anybody else wants Bhagavatam set, please come forward.
Allow me to explain for a few moments about Srimad Bhagavatam, the most precious acquisition in life. Before I ever had been to a temple one time, or any Nam-Hat gathering, on the streets of New York, I went looking for Srimad Bhagavatam. And I went up to a Sankirtan devotee and asked, "Do you have Srimad Bhagavatam?" A half hour later, in order to secure Srimad Bhagavatam, I gave in today's equivalents $10,000. I'd never been to a temple before, never been to a Nam-Hat gathering. I wanted Srimad Bhagavatam. There's no price for these books, for Srimad Bhagavatam. I can tell you more. 2 weeks later, I was going to a bus terminal in New York, and again I met the devotees. And again I gave them in today's equivalents another $10,000. So they said, "You've given $20,000, why don't you come to the temple and see where your money's going to?" I said, "Well, that's a practical idea." All for Srimad Bhagavatam. I just wanted to explain that personal testimony. Hare Krishna.
So the book Bhagavatam becomes the living Bhagavatam. This is the secret. Anyone else for the set of Srimad Bhagavatam?
If you want to know how the British ruined India, you can read this book.
Okay, so please be seated. I'll tell you the next part of the program. We have a few birthdays we're going to celebrate. So please hang tight. And then there will be a delicious feast. Thank you so much, Maharaj. His Holiness Devamrita Swami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. So, as some of you know, today we are celebrating quite a few birthdays. And a lot of people are also come here to seek blessings from their beloved ones. So we're going to pray together. Of His Holiness Radha Govinda Maharaj. Many of you may not know who Radha Govinda Maharaj is, but he is one of those great souls who never leaves Vrindavan. He lives in Vrindavan and he never leaves Vrindavan. And this was a direct instruction that was given to him by Srila Prabhupada, that he must study the Srimad Bhagavatam and teach the Srimad Bhagavatam. So he has been studying Srimad Bhagavatam and teaching the Bhagavatam. You cannot imagine someone who has memorized 7,000 verses in every single commentary of the different acharyas, and he's able to extract the nectar from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And so, we're celebrating his Vyasa Puja, his appearance day, and his brother, His Holiness Radha Raman Swami Maharaj, is a very humble saint. He is the one that takes care of Vrajamandal Parikrama. Vrajamandal Parikrama means those that make a commitment of 1 month, non-stop, you circumambulate all of Vrajamandal, Vrindavan Dham. It takes 1 whole month. And this is something that Maharaj has been doing for almost 30 years. An incredible seva that I am afraid to go on because, you know, it used to be very austere, but now Maharaj has made it so nice that there are almost 2,000 people that go out every year. How many? More than 2,000, Maharaj? Approximately 2,000 that go out on Vrajamandal Parikrama every single year. And delicious prasadam and ecstatic kirtans and incredible narration of beautiful pastimes of Krishna in all those holy places of Vrindavan. So this is what Maharaj does, and his older brother, who's also this great saint that we're talking about, today is his Vyasa Puja. That means today is the day he appeared on this earth to share his heart with us. So I'm going to request His Holiness Radharaman Maharaj, you should not never miss the opportunity to hear from saintly personalities. So I'd like him to share just briefly about the glories of Maharaj. And yes, and then we'll have a Pushpanjali. Pushpanjali means an offering of flowers to Maharaj's lotus feet. And then we'll have celebration of all the other birthdays and then the feast.
We have another cake for Maharaj. I don't know if you want to...
We'll also have cake for Maharaj that Maharaj will cut. Can everyone hear him? No. It's very soft spoken. Can you put the volume up?
Today is also Rath Yatra Day. आषाढ़ शुक्ल पक्ष से प्रतिपदा So this is Rath Yatra Day. Jagannath Puri today they are celebrating Rath Yatra. Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. From Jagannath temple, main temple, they go to Gundicha temple and Lord stayed there for 7 days, and after 7 days again Lord returns. So this is specious day, Jagannath Rath Yatra Day, and this is the day also Param Puja, His Holiness Radha Govind appeared in this particular day. Rath Yatra Day, glorious appearance, birth. So briefly I will tell how Radha Govind Maharaj first met to Srila Prabhupada and how Prabhupada gave him instruction. So from very beginning of his life, when he was merely child, somehow some saintly person visited from Varanasi or Ajodhya, Ramanandi Vaishnava. And they came in our village and they were talking about Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam, Ramayana. So somehow Maharaj got attraction for Bhagavatam. And then he started a study. When he was hardly 7 years old, he started Bhagavatam, reading Bhagavatam. And then at one point, at least 71 or 72, it was the month of winter season. They were advertisement, that advertisement telling that Srila Prabhupada, the founder and charge of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, coming to Varanasi, Banaras, Kasi, and Prabhupada was taking a procession, Kirtan procession from Ashwamedh Ghat, Dasashwamedh Ghat, up to the place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Varanasi, that Vishesharganj, that place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so Prabhupada advertisement are talking that Prabhupada is leading a procession, Kirtan procession from Dasashwamedh Ghat to Vishesharganj. Maharaj came this way in newspaper, immediately Maharaj came there. Our village is very near to Varanasi, very near. Few hours driving from 1 hour driving from our village to Varanasi, and directly Maharaj came, and Prabhupada was in the middle of procession was going on. Maharaj approached the Prabhupada and asking where from you come and how. And then Maharaj requested Prabhupada, first meeting I want to always be with you. Prabhupada replied, I am not staying one place, I am traveling all over the world. So, if you are want to stay, then better why not stay in Vrindavan? Because I will be not always in Vrindavan, I am traveling all. And then Maharaj inquired that from here, this program, from Varanasi, where you are going next, where is your next program? Then Prabhupada told that I am going to Gorakhpur. Hanuman Prasad Podar, very known personality, no more existing. So, Maharaj, Hanuman Prasad Podar was known to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj many times had visited that place, Hanuman Prasad Podar. And Maharaj wanted to go with Prabhupada. Then Prabhupada said, I am not directly going to Gorakhpur. From here I am going to Kanpur. Sorry. Lucknow, and from Lucknow I went. And then Prabhupada told the what day he will preach. Then Maharaj went there, Gorakhpur. And Gorakhpur, Srila Prabhupada was staying for continuous 10 days. And all the 10 days, Radha Govind Maharaj never gave up association of Prabhupada. Complete 10 days with Prabhupada listening. And then Prabhupada that time told that since I am traveling, you can remain always with me. You go to Vrindavan. And he instructed his secretary to give a letter, a recommendation letter, and order Maharaj, you go to Vrindavan and live there. So Maharaj again came to village and then went to Vrindavan. Since that time, Maharaj stayed there, always studying Srimad Bhagavatam. Of course, when Prabhupada again came Vrindavan, then Prabhupada instructed personally, you go through Bhagavatam, memorize verses, and also commentary. Sanatana Goswami has written commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, Jiva Goswami commentary, or many acharyas. So since that time, Maharaj started studying Srimad Bhagavatam very seriously, very nicely. Srimad Bhagavatam has 18,000 verses. Most of verses Maharaj memorized. Not all 18,000, but more than 50% verses are complete Maharaj memorized. And he was mostly dedicated his life for propagation of Krishna Katha, Bhagavatam Katha. So today, thus, he is in Vrindavan. So this way, Maharaj came in touch with Prabhupada, and by instruction of Srila Prabhupada, Maharaj is staying in Vrindavan and also talking Katha, Krishna Katha, based on Srimad Bhagavatam. So today is his appearance as Jan Divas, birthday, and it happened that Maharaj appeared on the Rath Yatra day, very auspicious day. That is the reason why we are celebrating here today, Rath Yatra in Jagannath Puri. So here I show other thing here. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for your wonderful speech for Radha Govinda Maharaj. So, I'd like to request actually Ratima. Ratima that she's sponsoring Sunday feast for Kamala. This little Kamala, she's been coming to the temple from very childhood. Now she's 6 years old. Yes. We're going to chant Happy Birthday Kamala. Can you remember the name? Yes. Kamala. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kamala. Happy birthday to you. Now everybody please raise your hand. Tilt towards her. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol. Terminate the other cake. So we have today is also very, very auspicious birthday of His Holiness Radha Govinda Maharaj ki. Jai Srimad Radha Govinda Maharaj ki. Jai Srimad Radha Govinda Maharaj ki. So if there is any disciples here, please come forward. Radha Govinda Maharaj disciples of, please come forward. So, Radha Govinda Maharaj disciples headed by Iskcon Prabhu, they have cooked a wonderful feast for all of you. You can enjoy the feast, a very beautiful feast, they made it. They took almost yesterday and today they made a whole big feast for all of us. So please enjoy the feast. So let's thank all the disciples and the cook who has cooked this wonderful feast. Hari Bo! So they're actually, Radha Govinda Maharaj disciples, they're celebrating 75th Basa Puja appraised of His Holiness Radha Govinda Swami Maharaj. This is the 75th Basa Puja. Generally, we call it a birthday, but for a holy person, when they come to the world, we say Basa Puja. Or the spiritual master, when their birthday is celebrated, it is known as a Basa Puja, or representing Vasudev. So this is his Basa Puja, and also birthday. So we're going to pray and also take the blessings of Radha Govinda Maharaj. Please chant one time loudly Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I request Radha Maharaj, who is one of the senior disciples of Radha Govinda Swami Maharaj, to cut the cake for Maharaj. And Maharaj thinks it's alright to sing a happy birthday for Maharaj also. So let us sing a happy birthday for Maharaj. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Radha Govinda Maharaj. Happy birthday to you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare So I'd like to really thank the Radha Raman Maharaj is here. Actually Radha Raman Maharaj, he comes every year, but because of the pandemic he could not come. But he always holds very beautiful lectures. So Monday, tomorrow, he's here. So if any of you want to have a hosting in your home program in the evening, you can come and see me. If any of the devotee wants to host him as a home program, because we did it today at Gita Mataji's house, but tomorrow there is an option. So if anybody wants to host him in the evening, you can come and see me for the evening program. And then we have another couple of sponsors for today. Sunday feast, Ankit Saha and family. Are you here? Ankit Saha and family? I know they said, oh, please come. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Any particular blessings you want from the devotees? He's been coming to the temple for a long time. So please bless him that he keeps coming and serving Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you. So then we have also Hashmukh and Jayashree Mataji. They sponsor for yesterday we had a Super Saturday and they sponsor the feast for the Super Saturday. So please pray for this family also. They are not here, but they are watching online. So we're going to pray for Hashmukh and Jayashree Mataji. Please chant Hare Krishna for one time for them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. There's one more sponsor is there. Please come, Mataji. Who is that? Yes. I give you. Please bring your family. Madhav Masan, who passed away 3 years ago, and the family is asking that we should pray for his departed soul, that he lives with Krishna forever. Can you pray for them? Yeah. For him? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all very much. Actually, this wonderful family, they always come to the temple, and if there's any festival, they always help the festivals. So let's give a round of applause for this wonderful seva they're doing. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. And then there is also unknown sponsor, he doesn't want name, but his family members, one of his family members actually going to a health issue. They're in the hospitals and they're asking prayers for her. So, and they also sponsor the feast today. So let us pray for her by chanting one time Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then we have just a couple of short minutes, then we go for the Pushpanjali. Then after Pushpanjali, we'll go for Prasada. So on the 17th, Wednesday, is Shayan Ekadashi. Every Ekadashi we have Kirtan from 6 to 8 p.m. You can come and join us. There will be Prasadam at 8 p.m. Ekadashi Prasad. So you can come and join us and we have nice beautiful Kirtan. So this is on the 17th July, Wednesday, it's called Shayan Ekadashi. And then on 28th Sunday is Jagannath Chappanna Bhog. There will be 56 items, but generally we go more than 56, we go at least 400 to 500 items. So you can cook in your home and you can bring this bhoga to Jagannath and we'll offer to the deities. What is the last? By 4 o'clock you have to bring it. If you have container like this, you can bring this type of container. If you cannot cook, you can at least bring fruits or roots. Doesn't matter. But if you are cooking for Lord Jagannath, only you have some little discipline. Means if you have used the pots for cooking for like onion, garlic or any other things, which is not a vegetarian, then don't use those pots. use the vegetarian pot for cooking for Lord Jagannath, and kitchen should be clean. If you can bathe and cook, that's best, but if you cannot, at least let the kitchen be clean. The utensil that you're using for cooking for Lord Jagannath, it should be clean also. And you can bring it by 4 p.m. Then we get approximately at least, sometimes we got like 1,000 preparation. But we get, nowadays we're getting like 500 to 600. So you can bring as many preparation you can. So how many of you are going to cook? Let me see some hands. Only very few. We see 100 people here. Only I see 5, 6 hands. Come on, Jagannath Swami ki? Let's see more hands. How many people can bring fruits? Okay. So we have a lot of devotees going to bring. So please bring it by 4 p.m. in the evening. Okay, and we'll offer to the deities. And after the offering is done, you can all have a nice Jagannath Mahaprasad. And then also on 21st July, you are fasting from green leafy vegetables. Means do not eat spinach because Chaturmas is beginning. So you cannot eat spinach on the first month. We are requesting devotees to fast from spinach, green leafy vegetable. Okay? So now we're going to stand up and we'll have Pushpanjali for Radha Govinda Maharaj. I request Ramakrishna Prabhu to give flowers to everyone. So this Pushpanjali will be 3 times, and I request Radha Raman Maharaj to chant. Srimate Radha Govinda Swami Iti Namine. Again I will repeat this one. Namo फिर से मैं एक बार मंत्र बोलूँगा और फिर से नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधा गोविंद गोस्वामी इति नामिने पुष्पांजलि। फिर एक बार नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधा गोविंद गोस्वामी इति नामिने पुष्पांजलि 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 हरे कृष्ण।
जय श्रीमान राधा गोविंद महाराज की जय श्रीमान राधा गोविंद अभिभावित महामहोत्सव की जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की गौर प्रेमानंदे।
So now you can take the final darshan of the deities and the prasad will be served outside.